Chosen one. Can you feel it? The atmosphere is heavier with meaning, the days feel different, and your spirit already knows something is about to shift. The 6th of September is not an ordinary Saturday. It has been written in heaven as an unforgettable day for the chosen. The moment when the silence breaks and the change arrives. The signs are already here. Dreams more vivid than usual. Chill running through your body without reason. Strange waves of exhaustion followed by sudden bursts of energy. An urge to withdraw from the noise and lean into stillness. These are not coincidences. They are whispers of heaven, preparing you for the threshold you're about to cross. This Saturday will divide your story. What was delayed will begin to move. What was distant will come near. What was hidden will be revealed, and you will know without doubt. The change is not just a promise. It is here. Prepare yourself, chosen one. Because the 6th of September will not only be unforgettable, it will prove that you were never forgotten. Chosen one, there are days that pass by unnoticed, blending into the flow of time. And there are days that heaven has marked long before you ever lived them. The 6th of September belongs to this second category. It is not just another Saturday. It is a day that was already written, inscribed in eternity as a moment of breakthrough, a threshold where the silence ends and the change begins. For many of you, the past months have felt like a season of silence. Prayers seemed unanswered, promises felt delayed, and the waiting grew heavy. Perhaps you even wondered, has God forgotten me? Did I miss my time? But this Saturday comes as heaven's reply. You were never forgotten, and your time was never lost. The 6th of September has always been part of your story. Every tear, every sleepless night, every hidden prayer has been woven into this moment. What felt wasted was actually preparation. When heaven marks a day, it means alignment has reached its fullness. It means the strands of your journey that seemed scattered are now pulled together into purpose. This Saturday is not random. It is not coincidence. It is confirmation that what God whispered in the dark is ready to be revealed in the light. You may already have felt the hints of it. Strange shifts in your body, sudden chills, deep fatigue that doesn't make sense, or bursts of energy you couldn't explain, vivid dreams, restless nights, or the pull to retreat into silence. These are not accidents. They are your body and spirit responding to a date that has already begun to open. The 6th of September has been echoing ahead of itself, preparing you to recognize it when it arrives. This day will carry beauty, but not the shallow beauty of appearances. It will be the beauty of alignment, the beauty of seeing that the waiting was not in vain, the beauty of realizing that God was closer than you thought all along. You may notice it in small things, an unusual peace in your chest, a sudden clarity in your thoughts, or even the way the morning feels different. That beauty will be a sign. The story is shifting. It will also carry impact. And impact means you cannot live through this day and remain the same. Something will break open. Something will move. What has been stuck will begin to flow. What was closed will show signs of opening. Even the heaviness in your heart may suddenly lift. replaced by courage and joy that make no sense apart from God's hand. This Saturday will not just be lived, it will be remembered as the day the gears of destiny began to turn. Chosen one, understand this. The 6th of September is not coming to entertain your emotions. It is coming to establish a marker in your spirit, a memory you can carry into the future, so that when doubt whispers again, you can say with certainty, I was there. I felt it. I lived it. God moved. This is why it will be unforgettable, because it will not fade with the sunset, but will remain etched in you. But there is also an invitation in this day. You can treat it like any other, distracted and indifferent, or you can honor it as the portal it truly is. To honor it is to open your heart, to pay attention to the signs, to declare aloud, I receive the change. Heaven does not force. It invites. And this Saturday, the invitation is clear. So I ask you, will you recognize this day for what it is? Will you step into the shift, or will you watch from the sidelines? The 6th of September is not just another Saturday. It is the Saturday that was already written. Proof that your waiting was never wasted and your story was never forgotten. Chosen one, before heaven fully manifests what has been written, it always sends signs. These signs are not random. They are not coincidences. They are heaven's language, subtle yet undeniable, announcing that a shift is already underway. The 6th of September will not arrive silently. It has been speaking in whispers, in the body, in the spirit, and even in the details of everyday life. Maybe you've felt unusual fatigue lately, as though your body is carrying something invisible, or perhaps you've had sudden chills, waves of heat, or even bursts of energy that appear without explanation. These are not ordinary sensations. They are the body's way of responding to what the spirit already knows. A portal is opening and the atmosphere is changing. The flesh is not separate from the spiritual. It reacts when heaven draws near. For many, the signs have shown up in dreams, vivid, detailed images that linger long after waking, strange encounters in the night that feel more like revelations than random thoughts, waking up with the sense that someone was near you or that you were being stirred for a reason. These are not meaningless. Dreams are one of heaven's oldest languages, and in this season they have been announcing what the 6th of September will confirm. Emotionally, the signs may have felt like contradiction, a strange mix of peace and restlessness. Peace because deep down you know something good is coming. Restlessness because the old cannot remain when the new is about to break through. Maybe you've found yourself no longer comfortable in situations that once felt normal. Maybe certain connections have started to fade, while others are being drawn closer without effort. These are alignments in motion, signs that heaven is arranging the stage for what is about to unfold. Spiritually, the signs have been even clearer. Some of you have felt a sudden pull to pray more, to withdraw from distractions, to spend time in silence. Others have noticed that worship feels different, more alive, more tangible. The presence of God seems thicker, more weighty, almost like the air itself is carrying a message. That is not your imagination. That is the thinning of the veil, heaven making itself more accessible because the 6th of September is near. And then there are the everyday signs, the ones so subtle they're easy to dismiss. Repeated numbers that keep appearing, conversations that bring up exactly what you've been praying about. Opportunities that seem to surface at the perfect moment. Even disruptions that push you away from what no longer belongs in your life. All of these are markers, gentle reminders that you are walking into something already written. But here lies the danger. Ignoring the signs. Many ask God for proof, but when it arrives, they dismiss it as coincidence. They ask for clarity, but when the body trembles, the dream speaks, or the heart feels shifted. They call it just life. Don't make that mistake. Heaven is generous in its signals. The 6th of September has been loudly whispered in your atmosphere for days now. The question is whether you are awake enough to notice. Chosen one, understand this. The signs are not meant to overwhelm you, but to prepare you. They are heaven's way of saying, don't treat this Saturday like any other. Be ready, stay open, expect me, because expectation is the soil where the miracle takes root. So I ask you, have you been paying attention? Have you noticed the strange restlessness, the shifts in your body, the whispers in your dreams? Or have you tried to explain them away as nothing? The 6th of September is unforgettable, not because it comes without warning, but because heaven has been preparing you for it all along. The signs are here, and they are clear. The change is not approaching. It has already begun. Chosen one, when heaven moves, it does not remain hidden in the invisible. The touch of God is so complete that it impacts every part of you, your body, your mind, and your spirit. That is why the 6th of September will be unforgettable. The change that has been announced will not only be felt in the atmosphere, it will manifest through you, making you a living testimony that heaven has drawn near. The first place you may notice the impact is in your body. Some will feel sudden chills or waves of warmth, as if fire or electricity were moving through them. Others will notice a deep rest settling in, a sleep more refreshing than they have known in months. For some, physical pain or tension may unexpectedly ease, while others will wake up with energy they cannot explain. These are not coincidences, and they are not medical accidents. They are the body aligning with what is being poured out in the spirit. The flesh cannot stay unmoved when heaven presses close. In your mind, the impact will be clarity. Thoughts that used to loop in confusion will break. Where there was doubt, there will be certainty. Problems that felt unsolvable may suddenly unfold into simple solutions. New ideas and fresh vision will come with surprising ease. The fog will lift, and you will find yourself thinking in alignment with heaven. It will feel like a reset, as though your mind has been tuned to a higher frequency, one that allows you to see possibilities that were hidden until now. Emotionally, the shift will be undeniable. Where there was heaviness, there will be peace. Where there was fear, courage will rise. Where sadness seemed to linger, joy will bubble up. Some will weep without sorrow, simply releasing years of weight in one flow of tears. Others will laugh with relief, as though a chain has fallen from their chest. These emotional waves are not instability, they are evidence that your heart is being restored and recalibrated to carry hope again. And then, in your spirit, the impact will be profound. Prayer will feel alive, not forced. The presence of God will not feel distant, but near, almost tangible. For some, worship will overflow spontaneously, without music or preparation. Others will dream dreams that feel more like encounters than imagination. Still others will sense a holy weight, a reverence, a recognition that God is truly among them. These spiritual encounters are not just experiences. They are confirmations. They are heaven's stamp on the soul that says, the change is here and you cannot deny it. This impact will not be the same for everyone. For some, it will come as a gentle breeze, a quiet but undeniable shift. For others, it will feel like a flood, overwhelming, powerful, shaking everything at once. But the form doesn't matter. The source is the same. Whether subtle or intense, the root of it all is that heaven has moved, and the 6th of September is the marker. But understand this, chosen one, the impact is not given just to be felt. It is given to be carried. If your body testifies, let it remind you to honor what you've received. If your mind clears, use that clarity to step forward in obedience. If your spirit burns, keep the flame alive by feeding it with prayer, silence, and presence. The impact of this Saturday is an invitation to live differently, not to return to the old patterns once the moment passes. So I ask you, will you let the change pass through you and fade, or will you allow it to anchor into your body, mind, and spirit? Will you dismiss it as coincidence, or will you carry it as testimony? The 6th of September is not just about feeling something for a day. It is about being marked forever. And once heaven has touched you, no part of you, body, mind, or spirit, can ever truly go back to what it was before. What happens when you align? Chosen one, the 6th of September is not simply about what heaven will release. It is also about how you respond. The change is here, but its fullness is experienced only when you decide to align instead of resist. Heaven can pour out presence, clarity, and power, but the depth of what you carry forward depends on whether your heart says yes. Alignment is the difference between a passing experience and a lasting transformation. To align means to step into agreement with what heaven is already doing. It is to stop fighting, to hold on to what is ending, and open your hands to receive what is beginning. Many cry out for breakthrough, but then cling to old patterns, familiar fears, and relationships that no longer serve their destiny. But this Saturday, the line will be clear. Those who resist will feel only a momentary stirring. Those who align will cross into a new rhythm that cannot be undone. When you align, the first change happens within. The mind that was clouded by doubt begins to clear. The heart, once heavy with grief or fear, becomes light and receptive. Even the body responds, releasing tension, carrying less stress, finding new strength. Alignment prepares every part of you to sustain the move of God. Because what is being given on the 6th of September is not meant to fade by Sunday morning. It is meant to anchor your next season. Alignment also changes your perspective. Suddenly, delays reveal themselves as preparation. The detours that frustrated you begin to make sense. You realize that the people who left your life were never meant to carry you into this moment, and their absence is no longer pain, but protection. What once looked like chaos now takes shape as divine order of minute. When you align, you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start declaring, "This happened for me." Externally, alignment shifts everything. Doors open naturally. Opportunities appear without you forcing them. Conversations confirm what you've been sensing. Even your environment begins to rearrange to reflect what heaven is doing in you. Alignment does not require striving. It requires surrender. When you align, you become a vessel for the flow of God's will, and what once felt impossible begins to unfold with divine ease. But make no mistake, alignment costs something. It requires letting go of the familiar. It requires surrendering control and allowing God to write the next chapter in His timing, not yours. It may require cutting ties with what feels safe, but is no longer fruitful. It may mean walking away from the thought patterns that kept you trapped in cycles of lack and fear. Yet the cost of alignment is small compared to the weight of carrying what heaven has prepared. Chosen one, understand this. The 6th of September is not only about receiving, it is about deciding. Will you resist holding on to what is slipping away, or will you align and step into what is being birthed? This day is not just a visitation, it is an invitation, and how you choose to respond will shape how deeply the change transforms your life. So I ask you, will you align your heart, your mind, and your steps with the move of God? Will you allow the change to settle, or will you resist and remain in old cycles? The 6th of September will be unforgettable because it will reveal the power of alignment. For those who say yes, it will not just be a Saturday, it will be the day destiny began to flow in full. Chosen one. When God moves, it is not always through fire from the sky or thunder that shakes the earth. More often, His power reveals itself in the smallest corners of life, the everyday details that we too often overlook. That is why the 6th of September will be unforgettable, because the shift you will witness is not only in visions and revelations, but in the ordinary moments of your daily walk, transforming them into living testimony. Perhaps you will notice it the moment you wake up. The air will feel lighter, your chest less heavy, your thoughts calmer. It may not make sense logically. Nothing in your circumstances may have changed overnight, yet you will know something is different. That quiet peace is not psychological relief. It is heaven announcing its nearness. Even your breath will carry a freshness, as though the morning itself is new. Throughout the day, the details will speak. A conversation you weren't expecting will carry the exact words you needed to hear. Someone may mention the very thing you've been praying about in secret. A closed door in your life may suddenly shift slightly, showing signs of opening. These small, almost hidden moments will act as confirmations that the change has already begun to weave itself into your reality. Your emotions, too, will testify. Situations that normally triggered fear or frustration may not affect you in the same way. A calm strength will rise where panic once lived. You may find yourself forgiving more easily, releasing grudges that weighed you down for years. Or you may simply smile with gratitude at things you once overlooked. This is how heaven transforms the inner atmosphere, not by forcing you into joy, but by making joy the natural response to life. Your mind will sense it as well. Ideas will come with ease. Solutions to long-standing problems may suddenly appear. Simple tasks may flow smoother than before, because your thoughts are no longer clogged by fear and doubt. Even your perception of time may shift. What once felt like endless waiting will now feel like movement, like progress. It is not imagination, it is alignment. And then, in the spirit, you will recognize the most subtle yet powerful changes. A song you hear may feel drenched with presence. A walk outside may turn into a conversation with God without you even speaking a word. The ordinary will glow with extraordinary meaning. That is the beauty of heaven's shift. It sanctifies the details, proving that God is not far away, but close, intimate, moving through every breath and every step. But here is what you must understand. These details are not small. They are the foundation of your life. When God shifts the details, He is showing you that His move is not a temporary visitation. It is a restructuring of reality itself. The big moments will come, yes, but it is in the ordinary spaces that you will carry the extraordinary change. Chosen one, on the 6th of September, pay attention. Don't overlook the simple peace that suddenly surrounds you. Don't ignore the small confirmations, the gentle whispers, the coincidences that are too precise to be random. They are heaven's fingerprints, woven into the fabric of your daily life. So I ask you, will you notice the shift in the details, or will you dismiss them as nothing? Will you honor the small signs as divine, or wait only for the dramatic? The 6th of September will be unforgettable because it proves that God does not just move in the spectacular. He moves in the subtle, sanctifying the ordinary, turning everyday details into eternal reminders. The change has arrived, and it is here to stay. Chosen one, there are days you forget, and there are days you remember forever. The 6th of September belongs to the second kind. This Saturday will not just feel different, it will become a turning point, not only for you, but for every awakened soul who has been waiting in faith. Heaven has chosen this day to draw a line in the sand, to make clear that the time of silence has ended and the season of movement has begun. A turning point is not a gentle shift. It is a break in the pattern, a threshold you cross that refuses to let you go back. The 6th of September carries that kind of power. For some, it will mark the closing of long cycles, disappointments, delays, unanswered prayers that seemed endless. For others, it will be the beginning of expansion, the releases of provision, the arrival of long-awaited answers. But for all the chosen, it will be the day their inner testimony changes from "I hope" to "I know." Imagine standing on a bridge, one foot in the past and one in the future. On one side are the shadows of doubt, waiting, and silence. On the other side is clarity, courage, and confirmation. The 6th of September is the day you will cross that bridge. Afterward, you will look back and realize, that was the day I could no longer deny the change. That was the day I stepped into the new. This turning point will not be only individual, it will be collective. Many chosen ones across the world will feel it. Some will wake with unusual peace, others with holy restlessness. Some will dream dreams too vivid to ignore, while others will sense a sudden release of burdens. And when these experiences are shared, the confirmations will multiply. This Saturday will not be a private whisper, but a shared testimony. Proof that God is moving on a scale bigger than just one person's story. But every turning point also reveals a separation. Some will ignore the signs, explain away the encounters, cling to the old season as though it still has life. They will remain where they are, even as the bridge opens before them. Yet those who dare to step forward, who honor what heaven is doing, will find themselves walking into a reality they cannot return from. That is the nature of a turning point. It demands a decision. Externally, you will see the evidence. Old cycles will collapse. Doors that resisted will begin to open. Connections that belong to the next chapter will step in, while those tied to the past will quietly step out. Opportunities will align. Resources will flow. Timing will finally make sense. These are not random events. They are signs that the turning point has shifted your timeline. Chosen one, the beauty of this day is that it is not just your turning point. It is ours. It is for every awakened heart, every faithful prayer, every weary soul that refused to give up. It is God showing that his silence was never absence, but orchestration, that while you waited, he was aligning many lives at once, so that the breakthrough would not only be personal, but collective. So I ask you, will you cross the bridge or will you linger on the edge? Will you let the old cycles hold you, or will you honor the turning point and step fully into the new? The 6th of September will be remembered as the Saturday when heaven made the shift undeniable. A day we will point back to and say, that was the day everything changed. That was the day I could never go back. Chosen one, the 6th of September is not being given to you so that you can feel a spark for a moment and then slip back into the same routines. This Saturday is not a passing wave, it is a marker. And the real question is not only will you receive it, but will you remain in it? Because heaven does not release change simply to stir emotion. Heaven releases change to anchor destiny. Remaining in the change means refusing to treat this Saturday like just another memory. The peace you feel, the clarity that strikes your mind, the weight that lifts from your shoulders, all of it is real. It is evidence that God has touched you. And when doubts come in the days ahead, you will need to declare, I lived this. I felt it. I was marked. That testimony is how you silence the voice that tells you nothing truly shifted. Remaining also means protecting the purpose. The 6th of September is not about receiving a moment of comfort. It is about entering a new alignment. That means some things cannot follow you forward. Old patterns of thought, cycles of fear, habits that drained your strength, even certain relationships, they cannot stay if you are to remain in the new. Remaining requires courage to let go of what belonged to the old season, so that you can live fully in the one that just opened. The enemy will try to convince you otherwise. He will whisper, you imagined it. Nothing has changed. Tomorrow, you'll be the same. But that is the only tactic left to him. He cannot undo what God has done, so he will try to rob your memory of it. That is why remembrance becomes your weapon. Each time you recall this Saturday, each time you declare what you experienced, you reinforce the truth. The change has arrived, and I remain in it. Remaining is not passive. It is active agreement with heaven. It means choosing silence when distraction calls. It means praying with gratitude even when emotions fade. It means carrying peace into your daily life, refusing to let the noise of the world strip away what was planted. Remaining is about building on the foundation laid this Saturday so that it becomes a lifestyle, not a passing encounter. Chosen. 1. The 6th of September will be unforgettable, but it can also be transformative beyond one day if you remain. Imagine what your life will look like if you carry this change into every sunrise that follows. Imagine walking with the same clarity weeks from now, the same peace months from now, the same conviction years from now. That is what it means to remain in the purpose, to let this day become the start of a permanent shift. So I ask you, will you let this Saturday fade into memory, or will you treat it as a covenant? Will you live as though nothing happened, or will you anchor your life to the truth that you are marked by heaven? The 6th of September is more than a date. It is a doorway, and once you've crossed, you are not meant to return. Remain in the change, remain in the promise, remain in the purpose. Because what began this Saturday is not the end of a story. It is the beginning of a new one.